Hi everyone, in this video I'm gonna walk you through how I actually translate from English to Korean or Japanese, or from Japanese or Korean to English, or if you are from Brazil or Spain, any other country, it could be Spanish to English. So I run global marketing agency from South Korea, and my team and I help global businesses succeed in South Korea, Japan, and diverse English speaking markets through SEO and social media and advertising. So, as a global marketing agency, the translation and localization is really important task we do on a daily basis. So I wanted to share this with you in this year, January 2024, so that you can learn and implement this strategy on your translation and localization strategy. This video can be helpful for both freelancers and business at the same time, because if you are running very small business, maybe you will do everything by yourself. So I think learning how to optimize and then how to select those specific tools, or learning about how to do translation and localization itself is kind of like really necessary. So for freelancer who want to learn more about how you can improve your translation and localization skills, I think this is a really perfect spot for you to learn and grow. So firstly, I'm gonna share what specific tools we usually use in our agency. Okay, tool number one, DeepL. So I tried everything for translation and localization to cut our time spent when it comes to translation initially. Although we have to thoroughly customize those sentences to fit for the tone of voice, and then to fit for the kind of context, and then adding more connectors in between sentences, something like that. But having clear draft is really important so that we can cut the time spent as much as we can, and then put more effort into customizing the draft version, and then add more marketing strategy. So I tried ChatGPT, I tried Papago. Papago is from South Korea, and I tried any just random tools that I got recommendations from other freelancers or other experts or something like that. And I tried Google Translation, but all of the things were really bad. And then one of my team member actually brought this tool, and then she is from Japan, by the way. And I tried initially in the beginning, like back in 2023, probably February or March. At the time, when I translate this from English to Korean, it was not that they didn't give me like really great result. But I don't know, maybe they try to improve time to time, right? So right now, it's quite accurate. I mean, like, it's not 100% good. It's about probably something somewhere 75 or 80% accuracy. So it means that there is a room that we have to optimize, and then we have to localize thoroughly. But 80% still good because Google and ChatGPT sometimes generate translations like 50% accuracy. So that proficiency is not something that I want to go for. So I usually initially prepare draft version with DeepL or from my team members. This tool is really excellent. If you haven't used this before, I highly recommend it. Okay. Tool number two, of course, ChatGPT. So, as I said before, it's not good for having the first version, the first draft from ChatGPT. That's kind of like 50% accuracy. So ChatGPT is for after using DeepL, like after you got the first draft version, okay? So ChatGPT is great to tweak your tone of voice and then add more sentences, and then you can also piggyback some competitors' post by just copying their post, and I want this structure with this draft. The ChatGPT can just adjust really in 1 minute, and then you can actually just train over and over again. I like this, and then I don't like this, and then you will get the great version by talking with ChatGPT itself. But I'm not saying this is 100% accurate when it comes to just copywriting. So you should have someone who is from that country. Like, for example, you want to have Korean copywriting or Japanese copywriting, but you got the draft version from DeepL, and then you adjust a little bit ChatGPT. But if you have a really elementary knowledge, then it's hard to know like it's really good translation or localization. Probably if you have some friend from that country, you can get some help, right? Or you can just hire freelancers who work in that expertise. Okay. Tool number 3, Grammarly or any other grammar checkers tool. Grammarly is good for English, but this is not for Korean or Japanese, right? So if you know specific grammar tools from your country, then you should have to thoroughly check the grammars once again to deliver the 100% quality, because ChatGPT probably don't know your language very well, and then they can make mistakes here and there. So you want to make sure that all the grammars is perfect in that copywriting itself. Tool number 4, Google or your search engine. It's always good to check the fact itself. So for example, one of our clients' content is about omakase, the Japanese food and Japanese cuisine dishes, and we introduce restaurants on a daily basis. So we get Japanese term first and then translate this to English, also Korean at the same time. But even if it makes sense in Japanese, sometimes it doesn't make sense in Korean or English, right? So you must double check if this specific term is highly used in your country, in your language once again. So that's why I'm recommending you to check out with your own search engine, the majority search engine, okay? So in South Korea, we use Google and Naver is the more major one in South Korea. And in Japan, there is Yahoo Japan and Google. We should make sure to check out the both platforms to check the fact itself. So if you are really not sure, just don't skip it. Just go to search engine so then you make sure that it's really used in your language, okay? Tool number 5. It's not tool, it's kind of like tip. It's the competitors' post in your industry. So for example, one of our clients is about introducing restaurant dishes and cuisines. So Michelin is not our competitor, but ultimately it's our competitor. So that's why we can actually check out how they usually write down the sentences itself in English. Also, they have another language here that we can choose from, so we can feel free to utilize this one. Or we can go to some competitors' post on Instagram and Facebook and then see how they has been posted that specific restaurant or something like that, so that we can catch what's the right term for this sentence, what's the right term for this word, what's the right term for this CTA. We can actually check out the competitors' post and then get the sense of how we can generate content if you don't have any idea, okay? So let's wrap up. Okay, here is the brief version of overview of how our team and I usually work on the translation and localization. So firstly, if we have a draft version in original language, like such as English or Korean, Japanese, then we will check out the original version first and then see if it needs to be adjusted a little bit from our native speaker or not, because the draft version is important. And then we will go to DeepL. Here again, we're going to copy English version here, and then we're going to get Korean version or Japanese version, okay? And then once we have a draft version, we're going to see if there is a room to adjust the tone of voice, or if there are some specific words that don't make sense, or if there are some specific sentences that doesn't make sense at all. Like, we're gonna just read it once again, and then we will check out those specific terms or words or sentences with search engine, okay? And then if we have the right sentence, right word, but we want to tweak a little bit, like the tone of voice or some context, something like that, because the direct translation itself is sometimes like weird, okay? So if we think like this is maybe good to give it a try to run with ChatGPT, we are gonna use ChatGPT. But if not, we are gonna just customize all of the sentences by ourselves because we are a team of native speakers. And then once we have a final version, we're gonna check out all of the sentences and words once again, and then run through the grammar checker once again. And since we have a native team members from Japan and South Korea and English speaking markets, we will actually review, test, and inspect all of the sentences once again with another team member, if it really makes sense or not. So I hope you get tons of information from this video. And then in the next video, I'm gonna prepare for another tutorial for translation localization about how to create global video content with translation localization strategy within just 30 minutes or 20 minutes. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe our channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Like this video and turn on the notification alarm so that you don't miss anything. And feel free to comment below if you have any request that you want me to record for you. Okay? Bye for now.